ብሩህ አዕምሮዎች በክህሎት የበቁ ዜጎች በሚል መሪ ሐሳብ የሥራና ክህሎት ሚኒስቴር ከፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ስልጠና ኢንስቲትዩት ጋር በመተባበር ያዘጋጀው ሀገር አቀፍ የክህሎት የቴክኖሎጂና የተግባራዊ ጥናትና ምርምር ውድድር ከሚያዝያ 27 እስከ ግንቦት 2 ቀን 2017 ዓ.ም ድረስ ለአራተኛ ጊዜ በአዲስ አበባ ይካሄዳል። በውድድሩ ሕይወትን የሚያቀሉ አስደማሚ የቴክኖሎጂ ውጤቶች ለእይታ ይቀርባሉ። በኢንተርፕራይዞች የተመረቱ የተለያዩ ምርቶች ለገበያ ይቀርባሉ። የፓናል ውይይቶችም የዝግጅቱ አካል ናቸው። በመሆኑም በድምቀት በሚካሄደው ሀገር አቀፍ የክህሎት ውድድር ላይ በመገኘት ባለሙያዎችን ያበረታቱ። የቴክኒክና ሙያ ተቋማት የቴክኖሎጂ ውጤቶችን ይጎብኙ። የሀገር ልጆችን ምርቶችን ይሸምቱ። መግቢያ በነፃ። አድራሻ ላምበረት የፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ስልጠና ኢንስቲትዩት ቅጥር ግቢ ውስጥ የሥራና ክህሎት ሚኒስቴር። በጉጉት ሲጠበቅ የነበረው የክህሎት ውድድር ደረሰ። ብሩህ አዕምሮዎች በክህሎት የበቁ ዜጎች በሚል መሪ ሐሳብ የሥራና ክህሎት ሚኒስቴር ከፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ስልጠና ኢንስቲትዩት ጋር በመተባበር ያዘጋጀው ሀገር አቀፍ የክህሎት የቴክኖሎጂና የተግባራዊ ጥናትና ምርምር ውድድር ከሚያዝያ 27 እስከ ግንቦት 2 ቀን 2017 ዓ.ም ድረስ ለአራተኛ ጊዜ በአዲስ አበባ ይካሄዳል። በውድድሩ ሕይወትን የሚያቀሉ አስደማሚ የቴክኖሎጂ ውጤቶች ለእይታ ይቀርባሉ። በኢንተርፕራይዞች የተመረቱ የተለያዩ ምርቶች ለገበያ ይቀርባሉ። የፓናል ውይይቶችም የዝግጅቱ አካል ናቸው። በመሆኑም በድምቀት በሚካሄደው ሀገር አቀፍ የክህሎት ውድድር ላይ በመገኘት ባለሙያዎችን ያበረታቱ። የቴክኒክና ሙያ ተቋማት የቴክኖሎጂ ውጤቶችን ይጎብኙ። የሀገር ልጆችን ምርቶችን ይሸምቱ። መግቢያ በነፃ። አድራሻ ላምበረት የፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ስልጠና ኢንስቲትዩት ቅጥር ግቢ ውስጥ የሥራና ክህሎት ሚኒስቴር። በጉጉት ሲጠበቅ የነበረው የክህሎት ውድድር ደረሰ። ብሩህ አዕምሮዎች በክህሎት የበቁ ዜጎች በሚል መሪ ሐሳብ የሥራና ክህሎት ሚኒስቴር ከፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ስልጠና ኢንስቲትዩት ጋር በመተባበር ያዘጋጀው ሀገር አቀፍ የክህሎት የቴክኖሎጂና የተግባራዊ ጥናትና ምርምር ውድድር ከሚያዝያ 27 እስከ ግንቦት 2 ቀን 2017 ዓ.ም ድረስ ለአራተኛ ጊዜ በአዲስ አበባ ይካሄዳል። በውድድሩ ሕይወትን የሚያቀሉ አስደማሚ የቴክኖሎጂ ውጤቶች ለእይታ ይቀርባሉ። በኢንተርፕራይዞች የተመረቱ የተለያዩ ምርቶች ለገበያ ይቀርባሉ። የፓናል ውይይቶችም የዝግጅቱ አካል ናቸው። በመሆኑም በድምቀት በሚካሄደው ሀገር አቀፍ የክህሎት ውድድር ላይ በመገኘት ባለሙያዎችን ያበረታቱ። የቴክኒክና ሙያ ተቋማት የቴክኖሎጂ ውጤቶችን ይጎብኙ። የሀገር ልጆችን ምርቶችን ይሸምቱ። መግቢያ በነፃ። አድራሻ ላምበረት የፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ስልጠና ኢንስቲትዩት ቅጥር ግቢ ውስጥ የሥራና ክህሎት ሚኒስቴር። በጉጉት ሲጠበቅ የነበረው የክህሎት ውድድር ደረሰ። ብሩህ አዕምሮዎች በክህሎት የበቁ ዜጎች በሚል መሪ ሐሳብ የሥራና ክህሎት ሚኒስቴር ከፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ስልጠና ኢንስቲትዩት ጋር በመተባበር ያዘጋጀው ሀገር አቀፍ የክህሎት የቴክኖሎጂና የተግባራዊ ጥናትና ምርምር ውድድር ከሚያዝያ 27 እስከ ግንቦት 2 ቀን 2017 ዓ.ም ድረስ ለአራተኛ ጊዜ በአዲስ አበባ ይካሄዳል። በውድድሩ ሕይወትን የሚያቀሉ አስደማሚ የቴክኖሎጂ ውጤቶች ለእይታ ይቀርባሉ። በኢንተርፕራይዞች የተመረቱ የተለያዩ ምርቶች ለገበያ ይቀርባሉ። የፓናል ውይይቶችም የዝግጅቱ አካል ናቸው። በመሆኑም በድምቀት በሚካሄደው ሀገር አቀፍ የክህሎት ውድድር ላይ በመገኘት ባለሙያዎችን ያበረታቱ። የቴክኒክና ሙያ ተቋማት የቴክኖሎጂ ውጤቶችን ይጎብኙ። የሀገር ልጆችን ምርቶችን ይሸምቱ። መግቢያ በነፃ። አድራሻ ላምበረት የፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ስልጠና ኢንስቲትዩት ቅጥር ግቢ ውስጥ የሥራና ክህሎት ሚኒስቴር። በጉጉት ሲጠበቅ የነበረው የክህሎት ውድድር ደረሰ። ብሩህ አዕምሮዎች በክህሎት የበቁ ዜጎች በሚል መሪ ሐሳብ የሥራና ክህሎት ሚኒስቴር ከፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ስልጠና ኢንስቲትዩት ጋር በመተባበር ያዘጋጀው ሀገር አቀፍ የክህሎት የቴክኖሎጂና የተግባራዊ ጥናትና ምርምር ውድድር ከሚያዝያ 27 እስከ ግንቦት 2 ቀን 2017 ዓ.ም ድረስ ለአራተኛ ጊዜ በአዲስ አበባ ይካሄዳል። በውድድሩ ሕይወትን የሚያቀሉ
ምርት በአዲስ የፈጠራ ስራ መጥረጊያ ግልጋሎት እንዲውል ሐሳቡ ንድፍ ሲወጣ ከነበረው ባህላዊ መጥረጊያ አሰራሩና አጠቃቀሙ እንዲሁም ከአካባቢ ደን የመጨፍጨፍ ድህነት የነበረ መጥፎ ልምድና ተያያዥ ችግሮች ለመቃለል የሚችል የፈጠራ ውጤት ሆኖ በተግባር ተፈትኖ የተሻለ መሆኑ ተረጋግጧል። ለዚህ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ይሄ ሁለተኛ ነው የሚታጠፍ ይታጠፋል። ይሄ ወደኛው አሁን በማኑዋል ያለው ከፈለግ ወደኛው ይገጥመና ቶሎ ለአንድ ሃይላንድ በሰከንድ እንዲጨርስ ያደርገዋል። በትር ተደርጎበት ላይ ያሉት ተቻዎች እንዳለው
በዘም ማለት ሲፈልግ ይላል።
የሚሰጠን ነገር የለውም ማለት ነው።
ስሜ ግርማ መሻበራለሁ። የመጣነው ከኢትዮጵያ ጨርቃጨርቅ ኢንዱስትሪ ልማት ኢንስቲትዩት። አሁን በምዘና አገልግሎት ላይ እያገለገልን ነው የምንገኘው። ምዘና ይሄ የስኪል ኮምፒቲሽን ነው። ያው የክህሎት ሚኒስቴር ያዘጋጀው በየአመቱ ተወዳዳሪዎች የሚዘጋጁበት ፕሮግራም ነው። አሁን ምዘናው ከተጀመረ ዛሬ ሁለተኛ ቀኑ ነው። ለምዘና የተሰጠው ሰዓት አጠቃላይ 10 ሰዓት ነው። ከ10 ሰዓት 5 ሰዓቱን ተጠቅመዋል። 5 ሰዓት የተጠቀሙት የማኑዋል ፓተርን እና ካድ ላይ እዛ ላይ ያሳልፈዋል ማለት ነው። አሁን ወደ ስፌት ከመግባታቸው በፊት የቆረጣ ስራ እየሰሩ ነው የሚገኙት። በአጠቃላይ ይሄንን ይመስላል ማለት ነው። ያው ተመዛኞች ከተለያዩ ክልሎች ነው የመጡት። ክልሎቹም ደግሞ ከኦሮሚያ፣ ከአፋር እና እንደዚህ ከመሳሰሉ ከተለያዩ ክልሎች ነው የመጡት። አጠቃላይ ካሉ ክልሎች ውስጥ 7 ተመዛኞች ናቸው የመጡት። እስካሁን አቅርቦት እጅግ በጣም ጥሩ ነው። እስካሁን ድረስ ያለው ቆይታ እንግዲህ ጥሩ ነው ብለን ነው የምናስበው። እስካሁን ድረስም የተወሰኑ አሳስመንቶችን ወስደናል። የቀሩት ግማሹ ደግሞ 5 ሰዓቱን ከዚህ ቀጥሎ የምንወስድ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። እስካሁን ድረስ በጥሩ ሁኔታ ላይ ነው።
ሙባረክ ይባላሉ። የፊኒሽንግ ኮንስትራክሽን እና የስትራክቸራል እንትኖች ዳኛ ነኝ። እዚህ የክህሎት ውድድሩ ላይ በዳኝነት ለመሳተፍ መጥቼ ነው። ኦልሬዲ አሁን ዛሬ እየሰሩ ያሉት እንደሙ ባለሙያዎቻችን ተወዳዳሪዎቻችን ሁለት አይነት የሙያ ዘርፍ ላይ ነው ያሉት። አንደኛው ስትራክቸራል ነው፣ አንደኛው ፊኒሽንግ ኮንስትራክሽን ወርክ ነው ማለት ነው። እና አሁን እዚህ ጋር የሚሰሩት እየሰሩ ያሉ ባለሙያዎች የፊኒሽንግ ነው። 5 ተወዳዳሪዎች አሉ በፊኒሽንግ። በስትራክቸራል ደግሞ 11 አሉ። እና የፊኒሽንግ ኮንስትራክሽን ወርክ ያው የቀለም ስራንና የግድግዳና የመሬት ሴራሚክ ስራዎችን ያካተተ ነው። የስትራክቸራል ደግሞ ኮንክሪት ብረትና ፎርምወርክ ስራዎችን ያካተተ ነው ማለት ነው። በፊኒሽንግ ስራው ላይ ወደ 20 ሰዓት ነው የተሰጣቸው። ለስራው 20 ሰዓት ተሰጥቷቸዋል። በስትራክቸራሉ ላይ ደግሞ 16 ሰዓት ነው የተሰጣቸው ማለት ነው። በቀን ስንቀይረው 2 ቀን ተኩል ፊኒሽንግ ነው። የስትራክቸራሉ ደግሞ 2 ቀን ነው ማለት ነው። እና ፕሮግረሳቸውም ያው የስራ ሁኔታቸውም ያው እንደ እስካሁን ድረስ ያው ግማሹን ሰርተዋል። የቀለም ስራውን 3D ፔይንቲንግ ስራዎች ሰርተዋል። እንደገና ደግሞ የሴራሚኩንም አጋምሰውታል። ጥሩ ፕሮግረስ ላይ ነው ያሉት። የማቴሪያልና የአቅርቦትን ነገሮች ያው በበቂ መልኩ ተዘጋጅቶልን እየሰራን ያለ ነው ማለት ነው።
ስሜ ውብይ ዘለቀ እባላለሁ። በፋሽን ዲዛይን ላይ ያለው ሲሆን የዚህ ውድድር ዳኛ ነኝ እና አሁን ላይ ያሉበት የልጆቹ ደረጃ እስካሁን ፓተርን ሰርተዋል፣ ቆርጠው ኦልሬዲ ስፌት ጀምረዋል። እስካሁን 50% ደርሰዋል። ከዚህ በኋላ ፊኒሺንግ እና የተወሰነ የፊኒሺንግ ፓርቶች ነው የሚቀሯቸው። ምናልባት እስከ ነገ ሞርኒንግ ላይ እንጨርሳለን ብለን እናስባለን። የተሰጣቸው 24 ሰዓት ነው። ነገር ግን አንዳንድ የወጡ ፓርቶች አሉ። በፓተርንም በሶፍትዌር እንዲሰራ ታስቦ የነበረ ሰዓት ነው። እሱ ስለሌለ ኤምብሮይደሪም በሶፍትዌር የሚሰራ አለ። እሱን አብዛኞቹ ስላልተሰራበት ያንን ታይም አሳንሰ ነው ከ16 ሰዓት እንዳይበልጥ አድርገናል። እስካሁን ያለው ከግማሽ በላይ ያለውን ፕሮሰስ ጨርሰዋል። አሁን ባለው ሁኔታ ከግማሽ በላይ ያለውን ፕሮሰስ ጨርሰዋል። ጥሩ ፍጥነት ላይ ናቸው። ካለን ጊዜ አጠቃቀም አንፃር ትናንትናም በሰዓታችን ቶሎ ስላልተጀመረ ምሳ ሰዓት ላይም የተወሰነ ሰዓት ወስዶብን ስለነበረ ባለው ሁኔታ አሪፍ ሰዓት ላይ ናቸው። እነዛን ሰዓቶች ብንጠቀማቸው ዛሬ በሁለት ቀን ማለቅ ይችል ነበር።
ተወዳዳሪዎች ከየት አካባቢ ናቸው
የመጡት? ከ9 የተለያየ ቦታ ናቸው። 9 ተማሪዎች ናቸው ያሉት። አዲስ አበባ አንድ ነው ያለው ከተግባር። ሌሎቹ ከደቡብና ከአማራ ክልል ነው ያሉት። አብዛኞቹ ደቡብ ናቸው። አንድ ከኦሮሚያ፣ አንድ ከአማራ ነው ያለው። ሁሉም የተለያየ ቦታ ናቸው።
ትርፍ ምርት በአዲስ የፈጠራ ስራ መጥረጊያ ግልጋሎት እንዲውል ሀሳቡ
We have faced the selected departments, 3 department, phase 1, ICT department, textile department, electrical department, ICT, it's phase 1. So, as you can see here, before implementation there is 72, after implementation 86, electrical 65, and there is improvement rates. What's the lesson learned from this action research? The user interface simplicity and also system integration, data accuracy, security, and data protection, reliability, and accessibility. Simply we can manage from mobile or Android, not only on desktop but also PC. Simply we can manage on mobile. And also feedback from users, cost effectiveness, data reporting and analysis, avoiding over complexity. And so
first of all, I'd like to give my salutation to all of values and practitioners, all governmental representatives, and all representatives for welcoming this time. And I'm present, my name is Alexander, and we did this our action start with my colleague Hadishan. And our action is we are presenting Addis Ababa activities, and also especially I'm presenting at college, and our title is entitled such like this one. This is our purpose. It says that enhancing soft skills of electrical department through final project and post-operation presentations. It's now did in electronics department, and as I started with my title, this is my development. I present this PowerPoint, and then what's background of my action research. We did this action research at the basic points because we are education circles. We have worked on the quality education because we produce a number of millions of graduates within 1 year. As data discusses that 3.5 million students or graduates found in Ethiopia from Tibet College. So we have empowered our students or graduates to lead economy. Here, background of my research talks about the quality education. Quality education is an knowledge that students can grasp through knowledge, skill, and attitudes. As Tibet, we are building this knowledge, and our graduates can grasp this basic knowledge, skill, and attitudes. So, as sustainable development goal adopted by UNA under 2016 to 2030, they adopted 17 sustainable development goals. Among this quality education is the one and the most critical points. That's why I'm considered on the quality educations. So among the quality educations, this is quality education integrates both hard and soft skills. When it comes to hard skill and soft skill in Tibet, we incorporate these two to sustainable development. When we come to soft skill, it's about Tibet also is more concentrated on this soft skill because our graduates need to be an entrepreneur. So to make this type of graduates, we have to work on the soft skill of students. And Ministry of Labor has also green Tibet mindset to bring this one on by introducing soft skill of upgrading soft skill of students. So this is the ratio of hard skill and soft skill that's included in the industry to make an effective component successful implementation of industry. So this here it is listed that 80%. This means successful workplace. 80% of interpersonal skill is needed, and 20% hard skill is needed. That means we have to consider on the more soft skill. A number of research says that soft skill is about management, it's about creativity, it's about entrepreneurial, it's about writing, formal writing, such like management system is very important to lead to be on sustainable development, to bring sustainable development. So when we come to our Tibet, it says that 70-30 policies implemented in our Tibet. So it's very difficult to bring sustainable development in such way. So this is the problem statement I mentioned here. Practitioners are observed because there is problem of soft skill problem. That means students cannot communicate with their instructors, they cannot aware that they cannot present their idea in front of audience, and they are very few because of presenting their idea, and even they cannot formally write and report their work. That's why they are very enough in hard skill, but there is problem in soft skill. So first, as we have 8 years teaching experience in TV, we observe that this problem of table structure. So this method now available method is not adequate to solve such problems. So again, we have another evidence. We have previous research work that says about there is problem of soft skill gaps, and this researcher recommends that 1 month's training is enough when students are at graduate level. 1 month's training is given, then students can upgrade their problems. Also, we have some evidences. We have some evidence from survey of students. Self-assessment survey say that 85% of the students are under problem. So they say themselves they are low and have to their soft skills. And also we have the other one is from electrical instructors. 12 instructors data was selected among the students, and 80% is the soft skill of the students are very low and have. We started our question, we have to answer this question. The first question is what one level of soft skill of the students currently happen in our electrical department. And second one, what is the strategy can solve these problems. And then finally we have to evaluate how effective this intervention is. So we started to answer this very questions. And then what the objective of this action? As it is now that in period, still now, there is no final project and post-average presentation. It is deep because even in every level, students are turning to their, appealing to their apprenticeship or every level, and when they come back, we are simply accepting their help. No evaluation methods are employed. And then finally, students are graduating the idea, even if there is no final project is ready. So our basic objective is to enhance soft skill in electrical department by taking the most finally the cost apparent presentation to bring out an in-application assessment for graduates. This is our scope. Since we are from generally with Polytechnic College and we have electrical department specifically, and we selected these 3 graduating class students. As generally we have 4 graduating class students, and we select 3 of them for our action research, and the rest 2 classes are for post-average presentation classes. So this is application. This is schedule problems, and we solve it with this case of our department, and this is research methodology and design of action research. We use this for deciding stages. The first one is planning stage, action stage, observation stage, and reflection stage. At the first stage, we identify the gap, then we design an intervention, design an and action stage, we implement those, and finally project the post-average presentations, and at the observation stage, we analyze the post-data, pre-data, and then finally select our action work results. Then this is our outputs. We have qualitative evaluation approach, and analysis, we have primary and secondary data sources, and we have our users, security analysis, sampling, mathematical analysis, we use it. And the sampling technique is part basic, and we select for those final project presentation. These classes are selected for final project classes because they are graduating students. And here 17 students are selected from 2 classes, and because of post-average presentation times. So this one is finding and discussion of this scenario or this action research. This graph shows that at the very beginning time or pre-intervention data, we identified problem in these graphs. There is 29 graduating class self-assessment was given, and among them, most of around 60% said that they are under moderate level in their soft skill, and 29 is around there at the low level of skill, soft skill. And we have also level 2 and level 3 students given self-assessment question. Each has 41% is around average, and then 39% is around low, and then we have again 12 instructors data to identify if there is problem found in base in electrical department. So it says that this is the addition of observation to our observation is additional problem. So what mitigation or what intervention we have used? So we designed both final project and post-apprenticeship presentation. to enhance the students' level of soft skills. So why this soft skills select? Because we easily, even instructors can easily manage this one, and even it's very possible to implement all around Ethiopia. All activities, all departments can easily use this one. Because of this, we use these interventions, and these are some of soft skills listed here. Then it's now that we have two implementing strategies among them, phase 1 and phase 2 classified. And for final projection time, the first phase we are providing training on these major points, and the second phase is execution phase. And this is the first phase for final projection. We are providing training for students. This is my mate, Mr. Habishan. He's providing training on how to write proposal, how to write final report, and how to write formal presentation. So training, such like training has been given by Mr. Habishan. I was there also giving training for students about presentation skill, how they have to use or they have to implement in the first phase. This one is the second phase also. We implement at implementation stage, the students discuss their case study, they select the title, and they are implemented their hardware, and finally this is evaluating team is evaluating the students' final work. Here is also students are providing their title, they are defending with their teacher, the questions arise from instructors, and then these students are providing or giving answer for evaluation team. And this one is the second intervention named post-partnership presentation and implementation stage. We have also 3 phases: before, during, and after a partnership time was taken. Here is when you are giving training, teachers are evaluating the students, and the students are also defending their post-partnership presentation. So this one is, we have with pre and post data analysis, mean and standard deviation. This is how that, and p-value is also a differential statistic was used, and this to show the change. And this one is standard deviation. Pre and post standard deviation was shown in this manner. And this one is also comparison of 2 interventions. So post partnership or final project intervention. So we use this one, and finally project has more advantage. And this is a reflection of our practitioners. Practitioners observe that both interventions are very well and credible. The result has come, and this one is lesson learned. So active engagement is needed. Teachers' involvement is very critical. Both finally the post-partnership presentation has been included in our curriculum, and if it's distributed all around Ethiopia, it's very important to sustain our development. And thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you for your completion for time. And the next presenter will be
እናንተ
First of all, I would like to thank my friends. They accept this action as a word of God. Without their willingness and trust, none of this action will be takes place. Their willingness and trust are credible to this action. Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Yahu Venus, and today I would like to share my action search results and my developed a new technology to improve the practical performance of my trains and increase their confidence. And this technology has changed our departments into a standard training center that supports level 3 up to level 5. I would like to forward to show how this technology can improve for TB training. My title is on enhancing the practical performance of industrial automation training by designing and developing a PhD training kit. manufacturing process, process control, and mechatronic system. As industry involves estimates a large amount of skilled professionals that control and operate their system effectively. As activate curriculum emphasizes the practical training over theoretical training, yet Enjawara Polytechnic has a gap to fulfill this because of material or research limitation. So I designed this one based on the literature reviews. I reviewed from different literatures, and that literature suggests that by developing their own curriculum-based design training kits, they improve a training's practical performance. So I designed based on our curriculum. I'm designing a training kit. The problem is, in 2023, I conducted action research. That action research rivals a great issue in industrial automation. That issue is based on PLC training in industry in Enjawara. But that research solves a great issue in Enjawara Polytechnic College about the configuration of the PLC system. But it also opens a large opportunity to solve that problem. And trainers are come to me and express their frustration about the industrial world and their lack practical activities about the PLC training. And they are confused on what the real industry looks like and the manual system. So I revised different literatures, and based on that literature, they developed a training kit based on their capital. So to know the basis of these students or these trains, I revised or I conducted a questionnaire for these trains, and all the trains are expressed. They need modification in PLC course training, in PLC course, and they all scores below 50% in practical training. So these are research questions, my research answer. The first, what are the challenges trainers face when try to reduce the gap between the theory and practical? Second one, in what way the design and implementation of PLC training it improves practical performance of train, and how does this PLC training kit improves problem solving ability of train? The major objective is enhancing the practical skill of trains, and specific objective that are aligned with research questions. First is identify and analyze the key challenge, then design. After that, applying that design, evaluating the problem solving ability of the train. Based on the research reviews, literature reviews, I designed action strategy. First action strategy is developing a PLC training kit. Then based on that PLC training kit, I developed a comprehensive training manual. After that, I giving a training for the train. Then finally, I evaluate their effectiveness and improve picture. In developing PLC training kit, the action strategies, design the system architecture, developing electrical and mechanical components, build the growth type, and refine and finalize the design are involved in the action strategies. Developing a comprehensive training kit. This training kit manual is based on the need assessment. What are the gaps and what are the necessary components that are available in a developed kit. Based on that, I developed a PLC training manual. Then I give a training for the trains. These are theoretical session and practical session, problem solving and evaluation and feedback. The evaluating part, post-training, feedback collection, practical performance and analysis. Implementation steps, these are expressed for 3 months in 4 distinct phases. The first phase, developing a PLC training kit. It was performed for 1 month. The major objective is developing PLC functional PLC training kit. The primary objective is functional PLC training kit. These are the steps how to develop a PLC training kit, a design and construction of a durable and sustainable standalone PLC kit. This one is component integration. This component integration was based on the available materials in the workshop. I used the available materials, current available materials in the workshop, and try to fill the gaps of my trends. And third, finalize programming and test. Before using the page training sheet, I programmed all the contents and test each components are working functionally. Then, during this phase, a lot of challenges are happening. Limited access to advanced tools, and difficulty acquiring electrical components and electrical components. To compensate this challenge, different strategies are taking place. For example, for limited advanced tools, we use outsourcing different materials. For difficulty acquiring electrical components, we use replacing by another brand and integrated with maintenance and other systems. Second phase, preparation of PLC manual, the basic major objective is developing a structured and comprehensive training manual. For this, a successful completion were well-organized and user-friendly training manual. Third phase, conducting training. For this, the primary objective is equipping trainers with the practical programming, troubleshooting, and industrial automation skill. I divide the training in three parts: basic level, intermediate, and advanced level. Basic level for introduction of the kit, how it's working, and what components are included, and what's programming means for one day. And intermediate, advanced for intermediate, about the motor controller and digital logic gates. For that, they know they have experience. This experience can be drawn without PLC programming, a manual system. So I introduced, I give a training based on this. And the last one, advanced level. Advanced level is I included the PLC training, the traffic light control, and advanced water level control. These are advanced level I considered for based on a training kit. And there is a hand-on training and a pre-learning approach for one day. I give theory one day. I give a theory one day training because I always use theory one day intensive training. Most neuroscientists say that for a paradigm shift, using that theory one day intensive training is good. It's applying for myself and also working for my friends. And evaluation, I think pre-test and post-test analysis, and this PLC training kit improves my friends' performance, skill performance, and it also improves their theoretical ability a little bit. Project evaluation, I think for expert validation, these are trainers' response after the post-test. They are satisfied with the PLC training kit and their programming skill. Their confidence are increasing because of they always use the kit and the program and troubleshoot the system. So these things are increasing their confidence. These are evaluations of evaluators' results for trainers. Evaluators are give for the trainers average results that are the kits are effective for the thing. So the PLC training kit has effectively bridged the gap between theory and practice. And this is aligned with the critical dynamic objective control trainers competence. So I recommend for adapting of this kit across Tibet college, for example around our areas, there is no well-organized training kit. For that, I recommended my training kit for them. And I encourage the government and the NGOs to support our goals to give cost-effective and practical training kit. Thank you very much. And also I present for the university for I invite to they have a STEAM department and electrical department. We have customized based on their requirements. These are based on our requirements, our curriculum standards. And for any industries and universities, based on their requirements and their standards, we can customize a PhD training kit.
Thank you for your presentation before my
በጣም አመሰግናለሁ። ስሜ ጸዳለ ተክሎ እባላለሁ። የፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ኢንስቲትዩት ምክትል ዋና ዳይሬክተር እና የቴክኖሎጂ እና ኢንተርፕራይዝ ልማት ዘርፍ ኃላፊ ነኝ። እንደምታውቁት አራተኛው ሀገር አቀፍ የክህሎት ውድድር እየተካሄደ ነው። በተቋማችን የሚካሄደው ውድድር ደግሞ የቴክኖሎጂ ውድድር አንደኛው ነውና እኔ ማስተባበረው የቴክኖሎጂ ውድድር ነው። ከመክፈቻው ፕሮግራም ማግስት ጀምሮ በትላንትናው ዕለት የቴክኖሎጂ ውድድሩ ኦፊሻሊ ተጀምሯል። በተለያዩ የቅድመ ዝግጅት ስራዎች ካከናወንን በኋላ እንግዲህ የዚህ የቴክኖሎጂ ውድድሩ ላይ የሚሳተፉት አጠቃላይ ክልሎችና ሁለቱ የከተማ አስተዳደሮች ናቸው። በዚህም የቴክኖሎጂ ውድድሩ ላይ የምናሳተፋቸው አሰልጣኞች፣ ሰልጣኞችና ኢንተርፕራይዞች ናቸው። እነዚህ ሶስቱ ካታጎሪዎች ላይ የሰሯቸውን ቴክኖሎጂዎች ይዘው በአካልም ይዘው ቀርበው እዚህ ይገኛሉ። ወደ 38 ቴክኖሎጂዎች ለውድድር ቀርበዋል ማለት ነው በ49 ተሳታፊዎች። ይህን ውድድር እያካሄድን ያለንበት ሂደት በተመለከተ ውድድሮቹ በውጪ በዘርፉ የተሻለ ሙያ ያላቸውን ዳኞች በማዘጋጀት ዳኞቹ በጣም ትራንስፓረንት በሆነ መንገድ ተሳታፊዎቻችን ወይም ተወዳዳሪዎቻችን የራሳቸውን የዶክመንት ዝግጅት አጠናቀው ፊዚካል ቁሱን ቴክኖሎጂውንም በአካል ለኤግዚቢሽን ጭምር እዚህ በማቅረብ ፕሬዘንት እያደረጉ ከዳኞችም ከተሳታፊዎችም ባሉበት በሶስት በተዘጋጀላቸው ቦታዎች እየቀረቡ ነው የሚካሄዱት። ከዶክመንት እና ከፕሬዘንቴሽን በተጨማሪ ደግሞ ቁሶቹን በአካል ዳኞቹ ሄደው በማየት የራሳቸውን የምዘና ሂደት እያከናወኑ ነው የሚገኙት ማለት ነው።
እንደው እነዚህ ቴክኖሎጂዎች ብዙ ጊዜ እንግዲህ እስከዛሬ ድረስ የሚታወቀው ቴክኖሎጂዎች ከሼልፍ ላይ ወርዶ አያውቁምና ሰዎች እንዲህ ለአደባባይ ይወጣል፣ ከዛም በኋላ ይከስማል፣ ሌሎች ቴክኖሎጂዎች ይመጣሉ፣ እነዛ ግን ሲሰፉ አይታይም ነበር። እንደው አሁን ይሄኛው መደረጉ እንደውም ጥቅም አለው ብላችሁ ታስባላችሁ እንደ ተቋም?
በጣም አመሰግናለሁኝ። እንደሚታወቀው ዘርፉ ላይ የቴክኖሎጂ ውድድር ይካሄዳሉ በክልል ደረጃ በአገር አቀፍ ደረጃም። አሁን ዛሬ ይህንን ንግግር እያደረግን ባለንበት ሰዓት የሚካሄደው አራተኛው የክህሎት ውድድርን ጨምሮ የመምህራኖቻችን ወይም አሰልጣኞቻችን በቲቤት ተቋማት ያሉት ሰልጣኞችንም ጨምሮ በየጊዜው የሙከራ አይነት የልምምድ አይነት ቴክኖሎጂዎችን አድርገው የደረጃ እድገት ለማግኘት ኦር ደግሞ የተለያዩ ተሳትፎዎች ላይ የሚኖራቸውን አቅም ለማሳየት በሚመስል ደረጃ ይካሄዳሉ ውድድሮች። ከዚህ በተሻለ መንገድ አሁን ዘርፉ እንደ አዲስ ከተደራጀን በኋላ የሪፎርም ተግባራት እያከናወነ ነው የሚሄደውና የቴክኒክና ሙያ ተቋማት የቴክኖሎጂ መፈልፈያ መሆን አለባቸው፣ ለኢንዱስትሪው ግብአት መሆን አለባቸው። ኢንተርፕራይዞችን ማሸጋገር ብቻ ሳይሆን ወደ ስኬል አፕ አድርገን ኮሜርሻላይዝ የሚሆኑበት ደረጃ ማድረስ አለብን። በአጠቃላይ በሀገር ኢኮኖሚ ውስጥ የጎላ አስተዋጽኦ እንዲኖራቸው የኢምፖርት ሰብስቲቲዩት እንዲያደርጉ በራስ አቅም ቴክኖሎጂ ለመስራት የሚያስችል ብቃትን እንዲያገኙ የማድረግ ስራ በተለያየ ጊዜ እየተሰራ ነው ያለው። ከኤግዚቢሽን መዝለል አለበት የሚለው የሪፎርሙ አንዱ አካል ነው። ለሲምፖዚየም ብቻ ሳይሆን ፋይናሊ ወደ ማርኬት መቅረብ የሚችሉበት ደረጃ ለማድረስ የሚያስችል የአሰራር ስራ ተዘርግቷል በሚኒስትሪውም። የኛም ተቋም ይሄንን ተግባር እያከናወነ ይገኛል። በባለፈው በጀት ዓመት ጀምሮ የስኪል ኢትዮጵያ ፕሮግራም በሚል ቀርጸን በፕሮቶታይፕ ደረጃ ያሉ ወይም ሚኒመም ሊያብል ፕሮዳክታቸውን ለማዘጋጀት የሚያስችል ድጋፍ ካደረግን በኋላ ወደ ማርኬት እንዲገቡም ጭምር የተለያየ የሃርድ ስኪል የሶፍት ስኪል ትሬኒንግ እንሰጣቸዋለን። ሪያሊስቲክ እንዲሆንም አይዲያቸው ሰፖርት አድርገን ማሽነሪዎች እንዲመረቱ የተመረቱት ማሽነሪዎች ደግሞ ቴስት ተደርገው ማሻሻያዎች ጭምር አር&ዲን ጨምሮ ስራዎች እየተሰሩ መጨረሻ ላይ ዲማንድ ወዳለበት ሴክተሮች ጋር ብሪጅ ማድረግ እና ወደ ኩባንያ ደረጃ እንዲደርሱ ራሳቸውን እንዲችሉ የሚደርሱበት ደረጃ ለማድረስ ዘርፈ ብዙ የሆኑ ድጋፍና ክትትሎች ይካሄዳሉ። በተመሳሳይ በዚህ ስራ ላይ ሁለተኛ ዙርም አሁን ተቀብለን ወደ 99 ቴክኖሎጂዎች ኢንኩቤት እያደረግን ያለነው በዘርፋችን የሪፎርም እያደረገ ያሉትን ተግባራቶች ከመከወን አንፃር የኢንኩቤሽን ሴንተር ማቋቋመን የቴክኖሎጂና የአይዲያ ባለቤት የሆኑ ሰዎችን ወይም ወጣቶችን፣ ተማሪዎችን፣ አሰልጣኞችን፣ ኢንተርፕራይዞችን ጨምሮ በመደገፍ ሂደት ላይ እንገኛለንና ከኤግዚቢሽን በላይ ነው ፕሮግራሙ። ይሄ ፕሮግራም ማርኬት ሊንክ የሚያደርጉበት እንደገናም ያላቸውን ጋፕም አሰስ አድርገን ድጋፍ የምናደርግበት ነው። እዚህ የምናያቸው ያደገ ነው። ከዚህ ቀደም በምናደርጋቸው ኢቨንቶች ካሉ ቴክኖሎጂዎች አሁን ላይ ጥሩ የተሻለ ፐርፎርማንስ ለማየት ሞክረናል። ቴክኖሎጂዎቹንም ካየን ፕሪሲሽናቸውን በተሻለ መንገድ ፋይዳቸውም ከአሁን ሀገሪቷ ከምትከተለው የኢኮኖሚ እድገት ፕላን አኳያ እነሱን የሚያግዙ ሆነው ነው ያገኘናቸውና የማርኬት ኦፖርቹኒቲ ያላቸው እንዲሁም ለሀገር ደግሞ ኢምፖርት ሰብስቲቲዩት ማድረግ የሚችሉ የቴክኖሎጂ ውጤቶችን ማግኘት ይችላል ማለት ነው።
እንደው በቁጥር ደረጃ እንደው ቢጠየቅ ጊዜ ለምሳሌ በአመት ምን ያህል ቴክኖሎጂዎችን ወደ እንደዚህ አይነት ወደ ገበያ ወይም ደግሞ ወደ ፋብሪካ ለምሳሌ በሀገር እንድታድግ ሁሉም ሰው ተጠቃሚ እንዲሆን ችግር የሚፈቱ ቴክኖሎጂዎች ወደ ህብረተሰቡ በደንብ እንዲደርሱ በአመት ይህን ያህል እናደርጋለን የሚል እቅድ ወይም ደግሞ ቁጥራዊ መረጃ አለ? ለምሳሌ ይህን ያህል እናዘጋጃለን እየሰራ ነው ሲባል ስንት ቢባል ምን አይነት መልሳል?
መልካም የእንትኑ ከውድድር በዘለለ ነው ይሄ ኢቨንት ያልኩበት ምክንያት ምንድን ነው? ከዚህ ቀደም በነበረው አግባብ እየተወዳደሩ ቴክኖሎጂዎች ወደ ቦታቸው ወደ ሼልፋቸው ወደ ወርክሾፓቸው የሚመለሱበት ኦፖርቹኒቲ እንዳይኖር የአሰራር ስርዓት ዘርግተናል። ይሄ የአሰራር ስርዓት የዘረጋ ነው ከመላው ኢትዮጵያ ኮርነር የሚሰባሰቡ የቴክኖሎጂ ባለቤቶችን እዚህ ኢንኩቤት እናደርጋለን። በፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ኢንስቲትዩት ከስራና ክህሎት ሚኒስቴር ጋር በጋራ በመሆን ይሄ እንግዲህ ከቁጥር በዘለለ ጥራት ላይ የሚያተኩራል። ቁጥሩ ላይ ብቻ አይደለም ፎከስ የምናደርገው። ከዚህ ቀደም ከነበረው ቁጥር እንደውም ከለካ ነው በቁጥር ሳይሆን በጥራት እና ለሀገር ኢኮኖሚ ካላቸው ፋይዳ አንጻር ነው እየለካን ያለ ነው እና በተከታታይ 2 ዓመታት ውስጥ ይህን ፕሮግራም እያካሄድን ያለ ነው። አሁን ከዚህ ኤግዚቢሽን ወይ ከዚህ ባዛር ከዚህ ፕሮግራም በኋላ እዚህ የቀረቡ ቴክኖሎጂዎች ስኬል አፕ የሚደረጉበት ምቹ ሁኔታ የምንፈጥር ነው የሚሆነው ማለት ነው።
እንደው ይህን የመሰለ ድግስ ደግሳችኋልና ሰዎች ደግሞ እየመጡ እንዲጎበኙ ተቋማት እንዲጎበኙ ከዛም በዘለለ ደግሞ አዳጊ ነገ ሀገር ተረካቢ የሆኑ ልጆችም እንዲጎበኙ በየደረጃው እንዲጎበኙ አድርጋችኋል። ጥሪ የምትላለፉ ካለበት በዚህ መልካም።
ዘርፉ ላይ እንግዲህ የጄኔሬሽኑ በዚህ ዘርፍ ላይ ተሳታፊ ሆኖ እንዲቀጥል ለማድረግ በርካታ የኢሜጅ ቢልዲንግ ስራ ያስፈልጋል። እንደምታውቀው የቴክኒክና ሙያ ተቋማት ላይ ያለው የማህበረሰባችን የግንዛቤ ደረጃ በቂ ነው ብለን አንወስደውም እና በዚህ ዘርፍ ደግሞ ማድረግ መስራትም እንደሚቻል ሀገርም ማደግ የሚችልበትም ምቹ ሁኔታ መፍጠር የሚያስችል እንደሆነ አሁን በሰራናቸው ስራዎች ማየትም ማረጋገጥም ችለናል እና የተለያየ የህብረተሰብ ክፍል መጥቶ ቢጎበኘው ከተጠቃሚውን በዘለለ የሚፈጠር ትውልድም ከማበረታታት አንጻር ከታችኛው የትምህርት እርከን ጀምሮ ያሉ የማህበረሰባችን ክፍሎች ቢጎበኙት፣ ኢንዱስትሪዎች ቢጎበኙት የላርጅ ስኬል ለምናስበው ወደ ማስ ፕሮዳክሽን ለምንገባው ኢምፖርት ሰብስቲቲዩት ለምናደርገው የኢንዱስትሪው ትብብር ወሳኝ ነውና የነዚህን ወጣቶች የፈጠራ ሀሳብ የማበረታታት ኃላፊነትም ጭምር ነው። በተለይ ኢንዱስትሪው ሜጀር የሆነ ሮል አለው ብዬ ነው የማስበው። ታዳጊ ወጣቶችም ልጆችም ቢያዩ የመፍጠር አቅማቸውን እንዲፈትሹ ያደርጋል። ወላጆችም በወጣቶችን ወደዚህ ዘርፍ ያላቸውን አስተሳሰብ እንዲቀይሩ ለማድረግ ቢጎበኙ ማህበረሰቡ የሚመለከታቸው አካላት ስቴክሆልደሮችን ጨምሮ ጉብኝት ቢያደርጉና እነዚህን አሁን የቀረቡ የስራ ውጤቶችን ደግሞ በምን አግባብ ነው የምናግዘው? ሰፊ የሆነ የቅንጅት ስራ ይጠይቃል። ይሄ ዘርፍ በአንድ ሚኒስቴር መስሪያ ቤት ተዋናይነት ብቻ ዘርፉን ውጤታማ ማድረግ አይቻልም እና ሁሉም ባለድርሻ አካላትን ጨምሮ ጉብኝቱን አድርጎ በዚህ የተገኘውን ውጤት ወደ ማላቅ የሚያስችል ደረጃ ለማድረስ ትብብር ያስፈልጋልና ሁሉም የሐዋሳ ክፍል እንዲጎበኝ በዚህ አጋጣሚ ጥሪ ማስተላለፍ እፈልጋለሁ። አመሰግናለሁ። በጣም አመሰግናለሁ። ስሜ ጸዳለ። በጣም አመሰግናለሁ። ስሜ በጣም አመሰግናለሁ። ስሜ ጸዳለ ተክሎ እባላለሁ። የፌዴራል ቴክኒክና ሙያ ኢንስቲትዩት ምክትል ዋና ዳይሬክተር እና የቴክኖሎጂ እና ኢንተርፕራይዝ ልማት ዘርፍ ኃላፊ ነኝ።
Thank you very much. Thank you, Balai, for coming with Ethiopian brand media. I have also serious concern on your work, even though it is interesting. There are a lot of issues that are missed. I was also expecting those issues to be incorporated during your presentation. So those are also missed, but in practical, from the practical advantage point of view, replacing of import by domestic product is the number one priority of this country or any research. But what missed on your research is your objective as an actual research, it have to be well articulated from planning up to implementation and then. But in that aspect it is also missed. Let me ask you some important questions. What is the experience of Fortify on usage of this most as a media? If they are using, they might have their own pH at which they are using as a media. As a media. So what is the benchmark? Why don't you use as a benchmark? Then my concern is, what is your benchmark, or why you don't use as a benchmark for your kind of research? You have also mentioned that the pH of the moss is 4. I doubt, frankly speaking, because the pH might be varied based on the area where this plant has grown. It's a kind of plant. So In that case, at least you have to put in range rather than 4. The other issue that I would like to ask is that it is known calcium carbonate is light. It is used for adjusting of pH. So, in your research or action research, you didn't show us even at the end of the day any data showing the shift from 0 to, or the effect of 0 or 0.5 or 1 or whatever treatment you had. So, simply showed us the picture where it has grown. So, that, I don't know, why you don't have tables or figures that shows the effect of lime adjustment on the growth of the poultry plants or whatever. The other is do you think that it is available in all parts of Highland? You mentioned as if it is always available in most parts of the Highland. If it is not available, do you think that it will be cost effective? I need you to react for this question. And the other is from action research perspective. Do you think that your research is cyclic? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next. Next question.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to say the presenter's congratulations to Richard this step. Of course, the question related to the specific experts they already raised, and from that, not from that area, but just as a layman of the specialization, I may forward one or two questions for Balain. One of my questions, of course, I did clarity, as Dr. said previously, we were saying 2004 pH. So you need to reduce the means, but when you specific objective, you specify that you are going to add calcium carbonate to rise the pH. Already most is having 4 pH, you say, you want to reduce, supposed to be around 6.6, but he is saying, we are saying that it is, we are going to add calcium to rise the pH, so it's a controversial for just like. And maybe another question. On your sample preparation, we were saying for drying for 1 week, boiling, and 1% diminution, but there is no references for that. For your hypothesis, who told you to dry for 1 week only? How you come to this sample preparation? Manuel, I need to listen your answer. And finally, you conclude that 1% was a good result is provided. But you are mentioning when we were sample preparation, we were testing for 1%, 2%, 3%. We couldn't see anything that 1 to 3%. No result at all. You simply resolve the conclusion that 1% is good, it works, you say. So why don't you present the result for other presentation? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. That will be all for Mr. Bhatt. And next question will go to Mr. Freud.
Okay. So I have some questions to interview. So first question is, what do you think is the unique contribution of Greek and Greek Russian culture for the TV sector? And also, what challenges have you encountered throughout the actual research process? Okay? You tell us the main challenges that you encountered through the process. And also, one of your specific objectives is to develop some kind of sustainable framework for question and answer to that part. So, what was the framework? Okay? And also, so the process may encounter different kinds of power dynamics. So how do you manage these kinds of power dynamics through this action research process? Another thing is that, do you think that this research influenced your professional identity? How did the research influence your professional identity in the other question? And other question is that, how do you choose this specific research problem? What is the main or the critical issue that you want to address, okay? So what is this, the main problem that you want to solve, okay? So these are my questions to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. To Mr. Frew, I want to follow up also. As to me, it says just implementing green organizational culture, but it looks to me as an organizational initiative, not a research, because when you present, you have covered a lot of area. One thing you have automated, you have developed some systems, and the other thing you have been cleaning the compound of the campus, so you are creating a greening culture, and you are also involved in construction areas. So to me, what is your specific contribution? So because this involved many stakeholders in that one, so I would like to know your specific contribution in this aspect. Thank you.
Thank you. I have one concern and question also for Katrin. Why you are choosing burning as a strategy for managing of waste? I have seen on your picture also burning, since energy, air, and water and waste management are the concern of green organization culture. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Frew. You have presented about the green organization culture. That's good, but there is some limitation regarding the data analysis. You have used descriptive data analysis approach, but since the project or the title is concerning about action research, it needs practical activity to bring the real green culture situation. In this case, your method of data analysis, it does not match with the problem study. The other one is management contribution is very, very important. In your document, this the management part was not emphasized, unless management has taken great contribution and emphasis provided. A green culture in the organization, it will not be ensured. In this case, what is your opinion? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I would like to add some emphasis of the questions so far forwarded. Mr. Frew, I would be pleased if you tell me what exactly initiated you to do that. Why you? That is I want. And second, if it is the initiative of the organization, it should be participatory actually. And that is good anyway. The effort and the achievement is very nice. My concern is why culture? Why green culture? You like to make it something else. So what is green culture and how is green culture established? how did you understand it from the review perspective? And what does it mean to your actual research? So are you really lying the ground? Okay, that is second question. Third one is, why don't you start from the problem? That means you have already analyzed data using descriptive design, which is not appropriate for action research. So is there no problem? You didn't observe the problem. Why did you just like to make such a design at the bottom of your research? Thank you.
Okay, I think the questions are next for Mr. Shiburu. Shiburu Takli.
Okay, Mr. Shiburu, thank you again for your nice presentation. So your presentation was focused on poultry production, which is a growing industry in our country. And the issue you have raised is about the problems associated with the expansion of the poultry industry, especially in urban areas. The most important problem is as its order. To minimize this order or to try to eliminate the order, you have chosen AA. It's not any technology, it's almost 20 years in above. What is your justification? How did you choose this material as an input to minimize the order problem? Is there any other option? Because AA may be costly for the farmers, don't you have any other alternative? The other one is you have used 80 liters of water and 1 liter of molasses. And what is your justification? Do you have any reference? Or do you have any baseline to stick to this? The other one is concerning your sampling method. You have used stratified sampling, and you have done this actual research on small and micro enterprises. Yeah? How did you stratify them? How did you stratify them? What is your criteria for stratifying these study groups? So the other one is not only for you, but also for the other presenters. You have made thematic analysis. What kind of tool did you use to analyze this qualitative data or for thematic analysis? Okay. The other one is you have tried to address all the principles of action research. You have followed 3 cycles, and you have increased the level of inclusion of AM from 1 liter to 3 liter. Yeah, and also the area coverage is also changed. So at the end of the 3rd cycle, you have said the order was minimized. Yeah, that is through the inclusion of 3 liter. So why didn't you start from 3 liter? Yeah, because there are literatures, a lot of experiment is conducted on the use of AM to minimize order. Yeah. So when you increase the amount of AM inclusion, there is also cost implication. Did you try to do a partial budget analysis or other means of evaluation? Yeah. On the cost, these are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Shiburu, also for your nice presentation. And the issue is very important. In the cities and towns nowadays, the order of poultry manure is a serious problem. My question, I do have 2 questions, major questions. The first is, how distance affect the order is not clearly indicated. What is your benchmark to put those distances as a research? The other is, you have also mentioned 2 different temperatures, ranges, 15 to 20 and 21 to 30. This is not a controlled experiment. Therefore, do you mean that midday or morning or whatsoever, just to show the temperature? Otherwise, this range might work for a kind of controlled temperature or seasonal variation whatsoever. So I need some clarification on this aspect. Thank you.
Thank you. I do have one comment and a question for Mr. Shukru also. Thank you for your nice presentation, by the way. The first comment, of course, your general objective has to be self-descriptive, as far as I know. So your general objective was just reducing chicken manure in your specific how simple. You would have included your methods, how you are going to reduce that in your general objective so that it can be self-descriptive by itself. And my question is, one of my questions already addressed by Dr. Abdamu. By the way, most of you, when you talk about your preparation, your sample preparation, it has to be scientific background. So we have to mention from where we go, what is our justification to select that one. So it has to be included, what the Dr. Abdamu is right. And my second question, of course, for my knowledge, as a research ethics, you mentioned that the chickens are going to have a stress. So what solution you suggested, you reduce the stress of the chicken. What you really did there? How you reduce the stress on the chickens? That I want to know that one. And finally, you mentioned 3 interventions. For the first and the third intervention, you quantitatively represented, you already kept the result. But for the second intervention, no qualitative value there. You simply bypassed it. We know that the solution you changed it, but what was the really quantitative number-wise result you found? So that it tells us what improvement we are going to get from the first intervention to the second level. So for the second intervention, no result for me. So I want to listen to the result. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I just want to add one more question. You said that after all, result has changed from 3.7 level of concentration to 1. And I would be pleased if you tell or describe how and how did you measure it, where, in which place, at what temperature does it occur. Okay, finally, 3.7 to 1. So it has been changed. So where does it change? In which location, in which temperature, in which situation? So it's not clear. Thank you. Next will be Alamna Marsha. Yeah, Alamna Marsha. It's all about enhancing tour guide skills of tourism. Okay, anyone interested?
Okay, thank you. I do have some questions for Alamna. And the first question is, how does your research address national priorities rather than some classroom issue? How can it address national priority issues? Okay. And the other question is that throughout the process you may encounter different kinds of unexpected issues. And how did you adapt your approach when you encounter different kinds of unexpected issues? Okay. And the other question is that can you tell us some kind of critical turning points where you get a reflection and then when you change your strategies? When you just, throughout the process, when you get reflections, you may change your strategies. So just, can you tell us some critical context or movement that you change your strategies by the reflection process? So these are just my questions for Alan.
Okay, thank you. Presentation. My comments and the questions emphasis on the size of population. You selected 78 population, and out of it, 36 was taken as a sample. Also, when you see these figures, first of all, it does not follow the sampling procedure. So this limits the accuracy of relevancy of the response of the data. So in this case, what is your opinion for such kind of a small sampling? How can you be ensured whether the results become effective or accurate or not for such kind of very small sampling utilized?
Thank you. The way you limited the number of your population. If you have any evidence, you can tell me that. And your pre-investigation said that the student lacked the historical narration, sorry if I misquoted the word, and public speech. Those are the two problems you identified. But when you mention your intervention, you said that the first method or your strategy was motivational training, you said. I would be happy if what kind of training you give, specifically what kind of training you gave so that it can improve your student historical and narrative knowledge, at the same time public speech. What kind of training is it? I was searching for the document, I couldn't get what kind of specific training. I was expecting that like historical tourism press, historical narrations, histories like that. But it was not there, I couldn't get on the document. So what kind of training specific you gave? And maybe not only for alumni, maybe for others, can a Telegram group be creating a Telegram group be a strategic intervention? How do you think? One of your strategic intervention is creating Telegram group. Can it sound? And lastly, on the tour, you said that the third person, it's good that here I could see that there are from other third body evaluators are there. But what they evaluated, really, on the final intervention question, I couldn't see that what evaluation did they evaluated, especially after intervention. Obviously, I feel that the solutions and the problems are already known. So if you specially coach some special students with a special program, there is a probability of improvement, definitely. But how you propose this can be upgraded to larger scale? Is it really feasible? For the small group, that's okay. But to say that it is a result for an action research, it would have been applied to some large scale so that it will be feasible for others. But here, in a small scale, you make it fruitful, but for a larger, you have to show us how it can be scaled up to larger scale. That is my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have also some questions. My first question, before the intervention, the public speech and that of tour commentary were 44.1 and 48.1% respectively. But after intervention, this has decreased to 7.4 and 0 in the case of commentary or tour commentary. What is the reason? Just to have 0, you know? This is probably there could be some sampling problem or whatsoever.
The other is your motto is to enhance the capacity of the students to have good public speech. However, the evaluation for public speech is done by 3 evaluators only. Even no students are into the class because the students were outside for not just for comparison. So do you think that presenting for 3 people and presenting for a mass is the same? And do you think that this will measure their capacity for public speech? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Lemna, I had one question. From the participants so far involved in the action research, there were dropouts. How could they just really drop out? Because it's part of the research and it will be vital addressing this problem. Thank you. Okay, next present time in the question will go for Atana Fukafelo and his colleague. Fellow and reliability. Thinking for
Okay, thank you. Since this is a case study title, I have only one question. You have said on the way to reduce unemployment, but in this point, I want to ask you about it. What was the evidence about unemployment rate in the database, especially 2 years, before 3 years, even 5 years, even up to 10 years? Unemployment data rate is very important to be included here in the document. So in this case, what was the unemployment rate in your study area?
Okay, thank you. So I do have some questions for Adnan also. The first question is that what aspect of your research is considered as minority? What is your unique contribution? And the other question is that what is your specific intervention and how do you evaluate the result of the intervention? And also, how do you evaluate the role of stakeholders during the different interventions that you have made? And another thing that your sampling is, I think, stratified. So could you tell us the main stratas that you have used in your research? So these are questions for now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nafu. You have followed a participatory action research approach. On your research, you consider only the researcher, the instructor, graduates, and employers. How about the management? The staffs, don't you think that they have effect or impact on the research? The other is 100% of the instructors are dissatisfied with the existing curriculum. Is it really sound? So, don't you think that your sampling might have some sort of problems? Obviously, if the instructor are satisfied on the curriculum they taught, this by itself is the cause for the failure of the academics. at least 7%. Point 60% employment within 3 months of training. What type of incentive for the trainers or the trainee or might have given just to cope up to this level? What makes them just too much highly interested? You know, attendance is also one major problem, as you might have heard even in one of our presentation. Or is it the curriculum change and the participatory approach of the employers that motivates the candidates just to attend this class? I need some sort of clarification. Thank you.
Thank you. Your general objective was talking about leading with special short-term training. But when you come to your specific objective, they are all talking about short terms. About the short term, specified short term only. The advantage of that short term and why you select that short term. But our short term is one means of just you are using this short term training for reducing unemployability. So it would have been related with unemployability issues also, not only the short term. And why you choose Perazzo department is my question, Roman. Is it to use the opportunity of the corridor development, to have the chance to make it Perazzo only? That's the only way to reduce that unemployment rate? Is there any reason why you choose only Perazzo? That's my question. Finally, on your conclusion, you said that the practical skill competence was developed to 87%, you said. Just having only Perazzo skill, is it not difficult to generalize like that the trainer's capacity or practical skill is developed to 87% with one skill? How do you generalize that one? There is a specific skill only, so you conclude as if the practical knowledge is escalated to 87%. What is your justification? Thank you very much.
Okay. I'd like to add more on Mr. Afus' research. Okay, I have this question. First, is the Perazzo a new construct? That means, is that something you have designed and appreciated by the local market? Or is this somebody's preference and somebody's mark of the Perazzo that you are trying to provide training for the trades? This is the first one. Second, how can you be sure is the actual research you have conducted producing such employability because of that Perazzo? Or is it because of the local market condition that they have got employed? So what evidence can you bring about the employability? Because the 97% of them have been employed after you have given them the training of Perazzo. So what is your evidence? It is the result of your work. Okay, next question will go for Tarikum, Mr. Tarikum.
Okay, Mr. Tarikum, your presentation was about enhancing practical skill training through the use of different technologies like AI and the others. When we present the results, there are some results of some analysis like values, conduct the template format, and also within this in some separations. If there is any significant change or outcome, it should comment or it should be in separation. If there is that, my main question is on the specific data, first of your projects, what are you expecting at the second stage of other phases? This is my main question. Thank you, Mr. Sakari. Thank you. As I have already said, we all know that augmented reality and artificial intelligence are playing a significant role in education and in many sectors. However, did you consider that AI or augmented reality needs a very skilled professional? Maybe you have been to China or other country to experience to have first-hand experience that might have motivated you, but in order to implement in our cases, specifically in your institution, would it be feasible? Because we lack many PCs or just any devices that require high storage and computing power. And the other thing is, in terms of affordability, is very another issue. So when you also show us as a model, you have scanned the QR code. I have also saw it on your paper. It shows some tutorial like on PC maintenance or some other appliance maintenances. However, when we talk about augmented reality, it is a way of immersive learning. You feel as if you are there. So how do you come up with the topic? I would like to have more clarification on this one.
Thank you. Tariq, I have one question, probably which might work for many of your terms. In mobile maintenance, table 4.1b, disassembly accuracy, retest mean 76.48. And the post-test mean square is 76.5. It says there is highly significant difference. Numerically, if you look at a glance, there is no difference. Sometimes, the fact that you gave the data to the software will not give you the right. You have to try to choose the right software or methods just to get the right significance. Otherwise, I have observed many of the data similar results, which are the data is very similar, but it says there is highly significant difference. Please check it out. And I need the reason why it happens also.
Just to say one thing on by the way, most of you, like those of you are working on the hardware part, you are wasting time in just looking at how you collect the data, the questionnaires, interviews, something blah blah. I was just to see what you really contribute there. Similarly, when I was just looking what is your contribution? You saw in China, so there, this is especially your humanitarian thinking, then you look at the method. So what is really your contribution? Have you put something in your college? Have you proposed some practices? What is so much about? What is your contribution is my question. Because I think it's just I was looking for how you interview how many people like that. But you are bringing something hardware, technology, what people are using. But I don't think that specific task you want to do. So in short, my question is what is really your contribution? What do you need? at the time, seeing in China, in people will be in college. Thank you.
Okay, that is it for Mr. Tariq. Next question would go for Mr. Torme Company. So,
okay, thank you. I do have some questions for Mr. Torme as well. I think your topic is improving training COC exam results, and one of your specific objective is to evaluate the management capability. And the first thing is that, do you think that this specific objective is related with topic or title, evaluating the capability of the management? And if it is related, then what was the finding? What did you find? That's the first question. And the other thing is you have shown that shows some implementation strategy. And if the strategy is adapted from somewhere, or is it your own contribution? If it is your own contribution, how have you validated this implementation strategy? Have you validated it? Because if it is your own contribution or own development strategy, it needs to be validated. So how did you validate that strategy? And also, can you explain us how this methodology is aligned with the cyclical process of action research? How does your research approach is related with the cyclical process of action research approach? And what specific measures changes results?
Is that manageable? In my opinion, it would have been better if we make it 2 or 3 years. Why do you focus on large number of research questions? The other one is concerning your recommendation. The recommendations you made focus on skill of instructors, competencies, socio-economic background of students. These are actually common findings. So common sense, we know that these have significant contribution on COC exam results. So what makes your finding unique? Yeah? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I just want to add a simple question. You said that the COC performance is affected by the competence of trainers and also the cooperative training, peer placement interest, and some other facilities. So after intervention, you have said that 90% institutional, 90% of the students have achieved institutional COC. How about the national COC? Because when you talk about COC, it's not at the institutional level. We have a national level. So the other thing is, how do you really intervene? Because we have many factors. We have trainer, facility, and teaching. So how do you manage this? You will to teach at least the 90% institutional COC. And when I just consider also compare with the national COC.
okay, this will be all for Mr. Turuna. And the next questions go to Wando Sangalma. Wando Sangalma.
Okay, Windows, I have questions. You also utilized a small number of population. In this case, data relevancy or finding relevancy becomes in question. So relating to this, what is the effectiveness of flipped classroom training method? just try to clarify how it is effective. Even you can compare also with the conventional training type also, because this Philip classroom sometimes students can do their own assignment or some practical aspects at home. In this case, some guidance is required. So how it is possible to manage, especially for the practical situation.
Mine is a bit general question. You have mentioned that the flipped classroom approach is a common and effective approach in many parts of the world, but it's not as such effective or not practiced in Ethiopia. So what is the basic reason not to practice such an approach in the context of Ethiopia? Thank you.
One question for Wonderson. So you have two experimental, you have two groups, yeah? One is experimental group and the other is control group, but they are not equal in number. The experimental group are 17 in number, whereas the others are 26. So don't you think that the class size, number of trainees, have also its own effects? This is my question.
Okay, I have one question for Nessie. And Apply Talks for most of you who have used mixed approach. And you mentioned that you have used qualitative approach, and most of you have used thematic analysis, but I didn't see any theme identified. So what themes have you identified in the thematic analysis part? This is my question for this.
Okay, Mr. Wonders, I would like to just ask you one thing. Do you doubt Philip Classroom? Do you doubt it is not effective? Because I have seen you are making an experiment comparing the traditional versus the flipped classroom effectiveness. Nobody doubted it. Therefore, you are making an experiment because you just want to translate it and want to show us it is effective. So that was taking your effort anyway. This is an action research. The very purpose of your research is the importance of just changing students through flipped classroom practice. So, do you doubt, or what is the purpose of bringing it down to us? I want you just reflect about. Okay, thank you. Next will be Mr. Adams.
Thank you. The first question is, how did you manage different kinds of power dynamics and ensuring inclusive participation during the research process? And the other thing is, have you seen the participants' interest or willingness to participate in leadership for the women's interest or motivation? Because some researchers say that most of the time women are not interested even. Actually, they are not getting power, still there is lack of interest to hold some kind of leadership power. So have you seen that? And the other thing is, what is your unique contribution? And also, what makes your research an action research? So could you relate your research process with the main action research process? So these are my questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jordanus. So you have seen that because Agarfa TVT College is one of the 4 federal TVT colleges, you say it is representative. Do you think being a federal TVT college makes you something representative? The other one is out of 558 supportive staff, you have chosen 80. How did you choose them, or how did you sample them? Okay, it's not indicated. And also your intervention strategy, you have tried to indicate you have some intervention strategy, but it is not indicated.
what kind of intervention strategies the tips, question of the tips of your intervention strategy. The other one is logically women can come to power because of different reasons, but there are certain criteria, policies of institutions. So big, without changing the policies or criteria of different institutions, do you think that only through action research you can change? I have seen a dramatic change in the number of women who have come to power. Do you think that through a 6 months or 1 year intervention you can come up with such type of significant change in empowering women? This is, I have doubt, okay? This is my question. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Manos. I do have some concerns regarding the design. Descriptive survey design. That descriptive research. So check it out that one. The other major issue is that you have chosen only 18 samples from 557. So do you think that these are representative for the staffs, support staffs? It seems that there is a kind of biasness on choosing of your samples. The other is you have also mentioned that bribery and harassment are one of the major issues that hinders women just to come to the position. So, what strategy you have designed just to protect this one during your training and others? Have you considered the willingness of the management to bring women into position also? Is it because of the fear or preparedness that hinders not to come into position? How about the willingness of the management? How do you see these issues? Thank you.
Okay, next will be, next questions go to Mr. Saga. Okay, thank you. Mr. Saga, you have introduced about the educational organizational system. It is an ISO standard. So this could be an initiative an institution can lead so that to transform its educational management system. So how your research is going to use this one in order to improve already a standard, because if you follow really this standard, you will transform your organization or your institution. So implementing this one is not just a specific action research because it's already there. So as long as you implement this one, so I would like to know how you just choose this one to be as your topic for the research. Thank you. Next, anyone?
Already it was addressed by Mr. So can it be an action research is a question, and one of the nature of the action research has to be the solution has to be innovative, right? So where is the innovativity of this research now? What do you do? Already implementing the standard, can it be an action research?
Okay, I have also one question regarding the training quality. How did you measure the improved training quality and approved by which body? So there has been some evidence whether quality has improved or not. In this regard, I wish to provide some
questions to you just for clarification.
Thank you, Zaga. I need some sort of clarification. Based on this project, the institute, Hawassa Polytechnic College, is become one of the leading institutes in Ethiopia as well as in Africa. I read like that. Being registered with ISO 2000 like that. So the work has been started from 2003. It has already implemented and the fruits are already harvested. What is the new issue that you brought on board is not clear to me. I need some sort of clarification on this aspect. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Now, if it is important.
There are a number of people involved, number of groups involved in your change intervention. So action research is all about acting, reflecting, and learning. So how about the learning that has been acquired through others? Because a number of people, number of groups were taking actions. So how is that explained in terms of action research?
Okay, thank you. Zayeda will be the next one. Zayeda.
Thank you there. Thank you. It's about the student attendance management system. So when I see even on your demo, I think it was the teacher who was just taking the attendance. So as to me, it is very limited. If you just have already developed it, why not the student just could just sign up or just sign the attendance by themselves, because it doesn't make sense as well. And the other thing is, I would like to know whether it has another third-party integration, maybe with the registrar or just that requires this attendance information. Because you have mentioned that unless the student attended 75%, I think, I don't know the exact number, maybe I've said 75% attended, you will not see it for the exam. So how is the individual instructor going to manage, or it is integrated with the other registrar systems so that they will just not allow the student to sit for the exam? So thank you.
Look, in manual, now as a teacher, I'm doing it. I give the paper to my student while doing my homework. It's an assignment. Maybe 1 or 2 seconds at the end of my section, I will check. Now here, what we did, again I'm signing into the platform form. I have to take it. See? What is the difference? Where is the time saving? You say it saves time. Where is the time saving? You are wasting even my time, I say. It's time wasting. Because I'm supposed to take everything is supposed to be done by. You don't have to make it either by face detector or by any means. If you have reduced my burden, that would have been good. But now Steve is waiting for me to give some time, sign, tick, which is who is present, who is not present. So
I don't see any difference from the manual, except making it without pay. That is the difference I observe. If you have any clarification, please.
Thank you. From your presentation as well as from your paper, I have seen that there is an improvement of time, which might take 8 minutes into 2 minutes. Like that. But when you are trying to show us even during the presentation, it was taking a kind of more than 2 minutes for you who are the experts who has done the research. So do you think that, as my friend has mentioned, it is saving time? The other is, in fact, you have shown also scanning. By scanning the QR, you can easily manage or whatever. So frankly speaking, the importance and its applicability at large is very minimal, except for reporting for higher bodies and the like. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Zayeda, for your further learning. I'm asking one thing. Who are your participants in action research? Either you do it yourself and learn from it, or do you do the others and others also learn from it? So who are your participants in your action research? That is your tip. Okay, next. Mr. Alam will be receiving next questions. Mr. Alam.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alam. It is obvious that soft skills are very important, but I would like to know why just you focused on the final soft skills is very important from the first year, but you only focus on the final year and at the same time elective students. The college might have any students from different parties, so it's just some already focus on this one. This is one question. And the other is, I think already soft skills is an integral part of the curriculums. So what's the difference that you bring about this intervention? Thank you.
For Alamu, I have one concern. On all of your sampling techniques, you have used purposive sampling only. Don't you think that this sampling technique has also its drawback? It creates some sort of biases. So why you prefer this one? Probably you have chosen for a reason. I need kind of justification.
Okay, Alamu, I do have one critical question for you. I think your intervention strategy is presentation, right? And do you think that we can improve all skills through presentation? Because when we talk about soft skills, there are a lot of soft skills. We have problem solving, emotional intelligence, teamwork, and the like. So, as much as I know, how could we just maybe improve maybe communication and the right presentation? So do you think that you can improve all soft skills through presentation? So why do you select this intervention strategies as an intervention? That's my question. Thank you.
Just to add one more, I really want to be convinced that your students are 10 plus something. They wasted their time in school. Now you provided the soft skill, so-called, by the way, I need a definition of the soft skill also. What does soft skill mean? One of the training you provided MS Office software. One of the skill provided, which as you mentioned there. So, what strategy you used if you would have made these students of final year by providing MS Office within this short time? How do you evaluate 10 plus years of their time wasting? How come that? How come that they can be converted within a very short period of time with MS Word and similar something even Zapu? As far as my knowledge, it's very difficult to me to say that they are softwares. soft skills. They are part of soft skills, but they have no direct impact on the result what we are expecting from our graduate. So look, on the final what you provide, you tell them how to write your project. As a course, there is a project, the course itself is there. The project course itself is there. So what additional thing you provided there so that your student will be converted in a very short time of like this result can be feasible. So I was not convinced that because they are already existing. They are already existing. So how you, maybe the way you implemented, the way you trained, the way you told them, I would like to hear it from you. Maybe that is the difference, I feel.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Alamo, I have a comment. Your data analysis shows that moderate level participants are also involved. So there are very low students and trainees with low skills. Because we are conducting research, why don't you just go with those with low skill trainees? What's the need to add moderate and more of them? Second, why don't you, why is the need for coining phase 1, phase 1 and phase 2? Why phase 1 and phase 2 instead of cycle 1 and cycle 2? Why don't you stress on one of them and focus on one of them and conduct 2 cycles of connection research? Why phase 1 and phase 2 are coined, and why are they very important to you? Thank you. Next will be Yahoo Business. Yahoo Business.
Okay, thank you very much. For Yahoo Business, just when I was studying her document, for example, just from your specific objective, it says the first step to objective says that to identify and unite the key challenges faced by industrial automation and control student management trainees in bridging the gap, like blah blah. And I was expecting on the document first what is the problem of this student, what they said. So her final destiny was just designing PLC. So that on the problem of the student, I was expecting that they have a gap of knowledge of something, PLC gap knowledge, training problem knowledge. I was looking for that, but it was not there. Fine, right from the beginning, the research, the problem has to be identified by some sort of research method. So there is no sort of identification of the gap of the student there, so that the solution suggested, training PLC, is not there. So I feel that you brought it just the title from yourself and try to contextualize at the existing ground. That is what I conclude. So no base or no convincing ground for the problem itself. Secondly, I was confused with the definition of PLC. As far as my knowledge, PLC, it is something, a compact type of device who have a capacity to upload, download, program, give some sort of program, write it and give it to it, and according to our program, we will act. Now what I'm seeing from the document as sent out from the picture, conductor is there, even couldn't see push some pilot lights are there. Are you trying to tell me that are you going to create your own PLC or mimicking PLC? What really you did? No PLC at all as far as my understanding. Or if that is the case, can you project, I can say project, can you project will accept the data, can you upload it to this program? Because on the picture you kept on the document, it is simply showing the motor control. The students are running the motor, already contactor is there, pilot light is there, so they will already the terminal is there, connection terminal. You provide them, they will connect and they will run. So where is PLC? That is my question. So if it is a PLC type, where is your memory? Even there is no interface to upload to your system, even no place where you are going to upload. Nothing is visible on that. So it's not PLC as far as my knowledge. And I was expecting also, when you say the problem of understanding, it is very difficult to say that it is simply lack of equipment. That is, can be one problem. But how about the methodology? Because you didn't identify the problem. How you are teaching PLC? What modules you are using? What equipment you have? What you don't have? Where is the problem? Is it possible to simply just put all the problems due to the lack of PLC? You didn't assess how you evaluate, or especially how you provide the PLC training on your college, so that you would have been convinced that, yeah, that is a problem. So the solution you suggested, it can solve, or whether it is not solving the problem, would have convinced that. But because you didn't identify, that is the question I'm having. Like I said, also similar for others. Rather than wasting time of asking the question, how do you understand what you did, you would have wasted on how really the practical you did on that thing, how the student can escalate this training software, what was really existing with the existing knowledge or delivery, and after you provide or after you manufacture that device, how they were using it, you would have seen it clearly. The previous and post intervention, it was not clear for me. Thank you very much.
This will be the end of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is the last session, and now questions were related to the presenters. And so I would like to invite the first person who is in charge of responding to the given question. Maybe he is the first presenter. Abbas, please, you come to this. You have another thing? Therefore, Abbas, please join on the stage. ነገር በአይን ይገባልና ሁሉ ሰው ማየት እንዲችል ሰው እየዞረ እንዳይቸገር ካሜራው ማየት እንዲችል እባክህ አባስ።
Mr. Abbas, anyone, you can answer being there, right? For the next time, you can answer being there, because it will take time. So, you have 3 minutes. Only 3 minutes. Therefore, you need to prioritize your questions. You have to provide the first for the first full question.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. First, the common suggestion which raised by our evaluators, I take as it is, because it's a constructive comment and a suggestion. It will be an asset for our coming action research work. So on behalf of my team, I take as it is all the comment and the suggestion. So the other thing is the question. So I will try to reflect questions which are raised by our evaluators. The first question says you are seeing plant spacing or techniques of plant spacing. Why don't you include broadcasting? The first question. So for that question,
ያለው ሰዓት 4 ሰዓት ነው። የሰማችሁ ነው? የመሰዋች የወል ታይም ዛሬ መገባደድ አለበት። ካልኩሌት